consider the possibility that the Trump squad staged this for more positive sentiment to overcome the people that didn't like him. You can't outrule the possibility. There's some weirdness there. So I don't know what to believe.
Gunshot.
So you're suggesting that there is a possibility that Trump the group is so evil that it would actually engage a shooter and have that shooter shot, murdered, assassinated themselves for a PR program?
We don't even know if the shooter was assassinated. We don't even know the facts yet.
We know who he was. We know he's dead.
I was just on a live space that Mario's hosting, and there's 2 shooters, there's 3 shooters. Still, the facts aren't the facts yet. So we can have opinions at this time, but we don't know cold hard truth.
Well, the Antifa guy that said that for Trump that justice is coming, that guy right now is dead. We know that he's dead. Whether or not there was a multiple shooter, the guy on the top of the roof or whatever it was, there's a lot of details coming up. But that guy, that Antifa guy, Goldfinger, whatever his last name was, Goldinger, that dude right now is not alive on this planet. We know that for a fact. Like that's been reported. And he is one. We know for a fact he is one of the shooters. The other person that got shot in the head that was carried out. I don't know if that was another shooter or if that was someone who was shot, because that bullet did fire in behind him. And they were interviewing someone who said that he was an ER physician and he was trying to help resuscitate that person. But there was brain matter literally outside of his head. This person's head, I can't remember. They said it was a he or,
I think
and then there's that report that there was someone else on the top of a building up there possibly. So,
fair point. But what my ultimate point was, and again, going back to my original...
Hey, excuse me 1 second. Did you guys see this?
Yeah.
Can you see this here?
Yes.
I think they hit him. The guy is...
I had not seen that. Looks like somebody that's dead, right?
Yes.
It says unconfirmed footage show the possible shooter at the Trump rally in Butler, Pennsylvania. This is 24 minutes ago, lying dead on the roof of a nearby building, reportedly killed by U.S. Secret Service agents. I mean, that's a little evidence, a lot more evidence than we normally
see. That confirms for me that this is not staged. How many dead bodies do you need? We've had one person in the audience who died, and then you've got at least 2 assailants that seem to be dead, including one on top of the roof right there. I know if Gary's, great to have you back. There's no sound though. But no, for me, that absolutely confirms that this is not staged, because you've got multiple assailants dead, and I don't know what kind of a stage, attempt would lead to that. So it doesn't seem likely, considering the fact that Trump is up in the polls. He's got, why would you need to do something like this to get more additional votes? It seems far more likely to me that this was a deep state attempt, and we just witnessed a hand of God moment where Trump was just saved.
And there's a lot of the details that we don't know. And KG's absolutely right. And the speculation, and so we don't know all the details. We know pretty much for sure, what it seems like is that if Occam's razor, that he was shot at, right? So we can pretty much, it looks like for sure that this was an assassination attempt. So if we went from just that point, that's something that that almost everybody's agreeing on right now, that there was, because of a person in the crowd that literally is and has been confirmed dead by gunshot. So I think that if we said nothing more than there was an assassination attempt, I think that would be an accurate statement as a baseline, in my opinion.
No, you're right, Mike.
But that picture of Trump holding up his fist is going to be freaking iconic.
Yeah,
that's a fact. Like, I don't care if he was shot. I don't care if the bullet hit something and pinged Trump or whatever. I don't care. That it doesn't matter. That shot with blood on his freaking face with his fist up in the air is going to be iconic. And it's going to be tough to overcome.
That will go down in the history books. Make no mistake about that. I mean, to bounce back up, to that be your first thought. I mean, that's quite powerful. Yeah, quite powerful.
I mean, Trump, the wherewithal of a dude to either get shot or shot at or whatever it was, to have the wherewithal to get up and then to pump your freaking fist and let everybody know that you're okay. Like, just to be in that marketing freaking Trump, dude, of like being in that camp at that moment. That's impressive. Man.
Never misses an opportunity.
Never miss an opportunity. Man. Golly. That might be the most impressive thing that I think I've ever seen. Like,
I wouldn't put it as marketing as much as, oh, you just tried to kill me. Well, guess what, mother, I'm still here. You know, like that's what I don't know. Like that would be my first thought as well. Is like, no, I'm telling everybody here, we just dodged something that should have killed me.
Well, you know, Prometheus, they were trying to get him up, right? And he literally said, "Wait, no, wait." Because he knew, he was aware in that moment.
Yeah, exactly.
This is a leader has to get up and put his freaking fist up. It was like Reagan's moment when he said, you know, Reagan made the joke about, you know, I'm glad the doctors were Republicans. Trump's going to have a moment where he comes back from this. And Gary, I don't know. What do you think about, like, do you think that this is something does this stop rallies? Or does it not stop rallies and he maybe wears a bulletproof vest or something like that?
Well, I mean, then why don't we just flunk the Secret Service and the DOJ and all of I thought we had the best military intelligence operation in the world. Exactly. Like, flunk them all, dude. What's wrong with it? Come on, you got to be blind. This is totally coordinated. So, I mean, call it what it is. Chris, I'm trying to get you up. I'm not sure how to do that, or whatever the problem you're having. But, you know, I mean, look at this, dude. Okay, this is what we should be looking for. Okay, this is the kind of leader we need right here.
Exactly.
So, how many times have they tried before? They're so incompetent. It's unbelievable. Okay.
Exactly.
So incompetent. So yeah, I don't buy the Kelly. KJ, I don't buy the. I mean, I've thought about it. Okay, I think it's worth going. Oh well, you know, that is one of the possibilities. The risk reward on that trade for the Trump administration to shoot at themselves is so bad. He's already destroying them by just being gentle and quiet. So I don't see where the payoff is, quite frankly. This is a last ditch attempt at somebody whose back is so backed into the wall. I've been saying this, okay? See, these psychopaths always go too far and they don't ever think they're losing because they're psychopaths.
Exactly.
And they actually think they know what's best. So, I mean, this is like, if you're supporting the Democratic Party at this point, I mean, we have a standing president. It's 8/16, and he has not come out and said a word, man. Assassination attempt.
That tells you.
Thoreau, what you got, Thoreau?
Oh, hey, hi, Gary. Yeah, I posted a video for you.
You're smashing my ears with all your background noise, smashing that Mac or whatever you got in your hand.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I was just moving over, so I was sitting more upright. I was sitting in my easy chair. Did you see the video I sent you? The woman behind him, I think, was passed.
Here. Let me see. Can you, Mike? Do you want me to send you the ability to share the screen?
Yeah.
Anybody can take it from me.
Yeah, I don't mind either.
Yeah, we got about 2,000 people in this room, so I think this is a good time to unite the community. And we should say a prayer. Prometheus, I agree. I think, it doesn't have to be a long prayer, just a little quickie. Hey,
Yeah, sure.
Because this is really crazy,
It is.
I mean,
It is.
we were 1 inch away from this being a very different story.
Exactly. So, Heavenly Father, thank you so much for saving President Trump. Thank you for keeping your hand over this beautiful nation and all her peoples. I pray that we see through this danger and that we come out on the other side and put these demons in their place. May this never happen again. And I pray for your hand of protection for all her peoples and for your guidance through this turbulent time. For thine is the kingdom and thy will be done. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you very much.
Well, Biden has condemned the assassination. So I guess y'all want to go ahead and wrap it up? I mean, jeez, man. How long till they turn this into a gun violence moment? Seriously.
That's what they want. It is important that people, because I was in some chats, I left because people were saying we need to. No, you have to understand the only thing that has kept these people at bay at all is our Constitution. It is that's our only protection. Like, you don't understand that if you take this thing kinetic, people, you will destroy it for us. Like
it just went kinetic.
It did.
It just went kinetic, guys. Come on. And this is not the first kinetic event. So yeah, this is outrageous at this point. Okay. We've had two massive pipelines blown up in the last 18 months. We've had a dam in the Ukraine that has been destroyed that will just it eradicated like millions of acres of farmland. We have 20 million people moving from the Ukraine and other countries into the continent, European continent, and they're broke already. Not to mention what's happening down here. So it's hard for me to understand, dude, how we're here, that this isn't like, we're here now. Okay. We're shooting people in the United States and they're American citizens. They're not Ukraine people. This is happening right here. Fucking swallow on that, dude. I mean, it's actually staggering when I don't think anybody's saying it. We had an assassination attempt, probably by our own internal sources. Okay. Let's call that one out too. Yep. It's most likely white people. Okay. White old men that pulled this trigger. So it's,
Well, let's look at the broader implications for a moment. Trump is the only person, I believe, who can bring this Ukraine war to a close. He's got that kind of leverage and diplomatic ability. And here we are, think of how many hundreds of billions of dollars are at stake for the military industrial complex, for BlackRock, who just, pumped God knows how many billions to rebuild Ukraine. There's so many different actors who are, set to lose essentially with his presidency coming back, deep state actors. So I completely agree, Gary. If this is not a wake-up call for the American populace, I don't know what is.
Yeah, this is I really don't know where we go from here, because I can tell you this, that I am honestly waiting for the Joy Behar or the freaking, CNBC or one of those people to make some kind of snide comment, man, about how, well, I guess Democrats, that's why we're just not good with guns, or we wouldn't have missed, or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that
guns that saved him, bro.
That it was. I mean, exactly. Right. That's why an evidence room at a police station never gets robbed.
Yeah.
Everything you want in life is at an evidence room at a police station. And there's never been one that's been robbed outside of maybe in the movies, but
Well,
But
this is
they've
the
done it.
reason why I'm pissed off here in the UK, because we're not allowed to carry guns. You know, like the way this government is going, I would like a gun at for my own protection. But
Y'all are on the way to where we are. There's no, if you remember, listen, seriously, remember back when they raided Trump's Mar-a-Lago home, right?
yeah.
They said very clearly that, we kind of dismissed it, right? Like it wasn't that big of a deal.
Yes.
But there was authorization for lethal force to be used when they went into that house. Like that's in every new, like that's documented. You can go look that up right now.
Yeah.
Like they make the joke about it, but there was Gary. You might remember this when they went into Mar-a-Lago, they had authorization to use lethal force during that campaign. That's a fact.
Yeah, I think that's probably true. Sorry, guys, I'm just doing a few little things here. It's interesting. I noticed Bitcoin's up a little bit in the hour, as is the entire crypto market. I tell you what, this wasn't an advertisement for Bitcoin.
Oh yes, yeah.
You guys keep acting like, hey, nobody's gonna take any of my shit away. Well, we just saw an attempt at someone to take an entire family's dream away that they've been working on for 8 years. The shit this family's had to go through. The disclosure is so much greater than any president has ever had to go through ever.
Yep.
And then you do this. So if they'll do it to this guy so publicly, dude, they're in everyone's face. I mean, this is not even like pretending to be stealthy.
Yeah.
This is in your face. Fuck off. We're going to shoot somebody. And I'll bet you they killed some other people. There's no way you can start throwing bullets around that tight little zone and not kill somebody else. So,
Well, yeah. They killed that woman. I sent you the link.
Sorry, I'm having a hard time doing all this. But like, how many people are dead?
The lady behind him, it looks like, was killed, unfortunately.
Because the bullet had to go somewhere, right?
It looks like
no. Like go study the Kennedy deal. They just reverse and stop and go away, dude.
Yeah.
Actually, Gary, I have my screen shared here. If you want to pull it up, Biden. Okay, because Biden did comment on the situation.
Yeah. Who's that? KJ, you know how to do that. Take it over, dude, please.
Yeah, on the bottom where you see the speakers, you should see my screen. If you bring my screen up as a speaker,
is that it? Your screen is you are a speaker.
Yes, but you'll see my screen being shared on the bottom panel there.
But thank you, my son, for the lesson.
Yes, sir. Okay, so Biden says,
I'm learning in public, man.
Hey, man, you ever need tech help? You let me know. I'm the tech goat. Okay.
There you go.
But would you like to read it, Gary, or would you like me to read it?
You do it, buddy.
Yes, sir. I have been briefed on the shooting at Donald Trump's rally in Pennsylvania. I'm grateful to hear that he's safe and doing well. I'm praying for him and his family and for all those who are at the rally as we await further information. Jill and I are grateful to the Secret Service for getting him to safety. There's no place for this kind of violence in America. We must unite as one nation to condemn it.
Well, there we go. We're out of here, guys. Good talking to you. And yeah.
And then to your Bitcoin point, we're up 3% on the day.
Yes.
So
it goes to show the Black Swan event. We don't. You just never know what day it's going to be. That beautiful. We had such a beautiful time today, didn't we? Like with Gary and everybody. Like it was really kind of special. I've never seen that many people sharing so much and trying so hard to share in such a caring way, and then to have this like almost immediately after is sad.
The Elon Musk parody account says, "Glad to see you woke up from your nap, pal."
On a similar note, did you guys pick up on the fact that Elon immediately came out with a tweet saying that he is endorsing President Trump?
Boom.
Did he?
Dude,
Like he came out immediately and said that. Yeah,
that's big, dude.
Yeah.
it is.
Okay. That's big. If you don't do that now, I think you're making a decision what side of America you're on. Are you on pink America or are you on a red, white, and fucking blue America, dude? This shit's got to stop, okay? This is outrageous. You see, the problem is I don't know that you can stop this without us going fully kinetic. I just don't know how you do that. I just think it's out of control at this point. There's too much to hide. You imagine what is hidden behind this alone? Like somebody knows something, man.
Somebody's disappointed somewhere. Like somebody is literally
Hey,
in a
right
meeting
now,
right now.
somebody's scrambling like a mofo, dude.
Yes,
You
they
just
are.
had an intelligence officer that just flubbed his job. Flubbed
Yeah.
it. Seriously flubbed it.
That was actually an interesting point that on the Mario space, Andrew Tate was talking to somebody who was supposedly ex Secret Service. I forgot what he called. He was on the sniper team, counter snipers, I think he called his division. And Andrew Tate's point was, why, if that service team is so elite, how was a guy on a open low-level roof with no covering, how was he not spotted before? I think it's a fair thing to question.
I agree.
Absolutely. I mean, wouldn't any of us would have questioned it?
Exactly.
I mean, come on. How did the audience? How did they not see this? That's what I saw that man on that roof, and I thought, "Are you kidding me?"
Not even a tree around him. At least I don't remember. It was a small metal building. It's not like he was on a skyscraper.
I'm wondering, it'd be interesting to know what the contents of that building are, you know, and if there was a chance that he found out that Trump's coming there, if he was willing to do something so extensive that he might camp out there, you know, or something like that, be there before they are able to sit up, you know, I mean.
Yeah. And the big question that Andrew asked was, you know, how did they not see him before? But how are they so able to snipe him immediately after he shot? So how did they not know where he was, and then all of a sudden within 1 second they killed him? And so there seems to be some discrepancy there somehow. I don't have the answer. I'm just posing the question.
Oh, it sounds pretty.
Well, he's with the Lord now.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, it depends on who you ask, I guess, on that one.
Are you talking about the shooter? I don't know about that one.
It might be at a lower level. But,
it might be at a lower level, but hey, what's the outrage with this, right? Because the news media, what do? They pump that this guy is Hitler, right? And literally one of the things we always joke about, even as kids, is what would you do if you could go back in time and freaking kill Hitler? We're like, I would do it, and I would go back and I would do all this. And it's like, well, if you get it constantly pushed in your head that you're watching Hitler, then why would that not freaking set somebody off to absolutely go just completely insane? You know?
Valid. Fear makes people do crazy things.
Yeah.
Or money.
Or money.
Or the Clintons. So I mean, look, Hillary Clinton is the baddest. She's the baddest bitch on the block. Okay. Let's not let's be serious. That chick makes a freaking phone call and we don't even have this live stream. Okay. So Hillary Clinton,
You're saying Epstein didn't kill himself?
I'm just saying that sheet wasn't effective from 6 inches off the ground after the lights went out and the cops fell asleep. And they got pardoned for falling asleep as the lights went out. Those cops literally were pardoned after that. This is real world. This is real world stuff we're living in right now. It's like you never know what's coming next, man. The news is the best fiction that there is.
Yep.
So,
Well, yeah.
what do you guys think? So they failed at this. What are you guys thinking? Like, where does this go? Have you already talked about that?
I think that first of all, knowing Donald Trump, he's gonna like properly go after them now. Like he's like, okay, you've come after my life. Okay, like gloves off. You know, if there's anything that was holding him back, this is gonna push him over the edge. So whatever enemies that he had before who were scared now, they better be shitting their pants right now because he is not dead and he's well on his way to the White House.
I wonder what his first speech is going to be after this. This is going to be very, very interesting. And I don't remember who it was. I think it was you, Mike, a few minutes ago when someone posed the question about will he continue to do rallies? I mean, that's going to be interesting because on one hand, if he does, that goes to show that he's not afraid, that he's standing in face of it. But do we think that if this was the opposing side assassination attempt and not some Lone Ranger, right? Do we think that they're just going to say, oh, okay, we missed, it's over. Oh, we're good. He can go on. He can carry on. Will they strike again?
Well, I think the next rally is probably going to be in a freaking in an arena, like a huge freaking arena where you're going to put 65, 70,000 people in that badass boy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's going to be one metal detectors. You're not getting in the freaking building, and it's enclosed, and I just think there's going to be probably 70,000 people. He's going to announce his VP, and it is going to be a moment to remember. You know, that's what Trump would. Is that not what Trump would do? Turn it into an absolute sporting event type spectacle. I mean, as he should. You cannot let this moment go. You know.
I wouldn't be surprised if he walked out into that arena playing the John Cena anthem. You know, dun 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 dun. Trump's here.
or dun 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 dun. Wow, ba bum ba bum ba bum. You might
literally say now, what don't kill you?
Can you smell
what the Trump is cooking?
Believe it. That would be absolutely. I mean, that would be epic.
But I think that he just needs to lay low. Really, he's got this in the bag. If he does all his campaigning from Zoom calls now, like no one would judge him. You know, like at this point, his safety is number one, and I think
he's got to get a VP though, Prometheus. Don't you think? You better have you need to get a VP lined up right now and then get that ticket solidified.
Yeah, but let's get to the nut cutting, okay? Because he doesn't need a VP right now. What are we gonna do? See, I think that's really the point. What are we gonna do? We got a lot of requests, so we might have to start moving some people around. Somebody,
sure. I don't mind.
Maybe you can help me. Yeah, you can. But you know, I think that it doesn't really. I mean, yes, keep Trump safe. Clearly, everything now is going to ramp up. I wouldn't put my guard down, that's for sure. But like, hey, to go out and do it again would be like, see, this is what I'm worried about. I'm worried about that they could attempt this again and nothing's going to happen for America. We're just going to lay down our little penises and surrender and go, okay, well, let's go talk about it on Spaces. Not sure it gets solved this way. What do y'all think?
I think that the most important thing right now is to, show one's erect spine and be like, hell no, just whatever that represents. So for me, as someone from the UK watching this from the outside, like this would be like, like George Washington just got shot and, the revolution is on the line. What more do you need to rally everybody behind a cause now? This is life or death. This is World War III. This is, the economy on the line. It's it's now or never, folks. So I think this is something each one of us needs to consider and then see how we can come together. Like, this is not a time to just kind of like randomly react, but cold and calculatively and decisively take action, unequivocal, game-changing action. So ponder on what that means to you.
I mean, that could mean a lot of things, because unequivocal game-changing action could be civil war, blood in the streets. It could be trying to counter kill people. I mean, look, I've got 2 small children. I don't want revolution necessarily, because I want to be dad to my kids. So another point too is, sure, we could say, oh, it's Biden, but Biden can't even form a sentence. Do I think that he's some criminal mastermind? No, there's probably some unseen actors. We probably don't even know who the real enemy actually is. We know it manifests itself in
Yeah, we don't
Is
know.
that a metaphor for technology, or?
Yeah, I did. Don't get canceled on YouTube. Yeah, I don't know what the solution is.
I do expect that cancellation order to come at some moment.
I'm calling YouTube CEO right now.
Well, like, but see, earlier you were trying to maybe even rationalize a little bit that, hey, what if? And have we dispelled that, or does that still have some kind of percentage that is worth even considering?
Me doing my best to be an objective, all-considering guy, I think it has to remain a possible consideration. How strong, I don't know.
What percentage of? Oh, you have to be able to give it a percentage.
5 to 8%.
Okay. What is your assessment? If you were making a conclusion from the data that you have right now, what is your assessment as to what happened?
Well, if it was an assassination attempt by the opposing party, would they really miss? Maybe, it's possible. But would they really miss? And if it was some PR stunt, you could break it down. If you're considering it, you could say, okay, maybe the shooter shot in the air. Trump had his head turned. Maybe Secret Service tackled him. They cut his ear a little bit, right? So that was the actual blood. After he just got shot in the face, they're going to let him stand there with his head exposed. That's kind of like, really, dude? I mean, you could argue. I'm saying there's things that would they let his full face be exposed for that long after he just got shot in the face? I mean, it's a reasonable question.
Hey, you know what? But it worries me that the audience would conflate what you're saying, because I could actually agree with the last part of your sentence and still say, hey, there's just very little upside for the Trump administration to attempt that, much less at that distance. Okay.
Exactly.
And then secondly, to suggest that because the Secret Service, the very Secret Service that clearly let this happen,
right,
who, pooped the fucking bed. Okay, this is supposed to be the greatest intelligence organization in the world. Secret Service, dude, it doesn't get better. That's the Department of Treasury who collects your taxes. Now, why the fuck was he still out in the public that long? Can somebody run that reel? And let's count how many seconds Trump was still in the open, dude, with a little flesh wound. That's not what you do. The protocol is to fucking move.
Exactly.
Kill and move, dude.
Exactly.
Well, here's a little.
But see, KG, I'm frustrated with you a little bit, because I think you're supporting. Maybe you just don't want to jump on the Trump wagon, but bro, this fucking wagon is leaving, and you're gonna have to decide what side you're on. I don't think this is a milquetoast kind of question.
Oh, I am not on the Biden side. I can't be on the side of the symbol of what's supposed to be the symbol of power of the world's most powerful country to a dude who literally can't speak.
It's not about him, dude. It's that whole crew, dude. You cannot possibly support what these people are doing now. It's so heinous that I would have, if you were supporting the Democratic body, I'm not saying every individual in there, but on whole, if you're supporting that group of people, I now have to just label you as my enemy. I think we're to that point now because it's like, wow, how can you possibly believe drugging this many children? You have kids. How can you imagine that the school system is really, 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 really bad, robotically bad, okay? Poisoning the minds. I did a show 6 hours ago on IQ and shit, and, there's actually a study that said kids were government study. Kids were interviewed before the age of 5, before school. 72% of them classified as genius. Next 5 years, 30%. Next 5 years, 10%. Next 5 years, 5%. Suggesting that our education system is actually destroying genius, right? So we know all these systems are failing, dude. And if they're all failing, I mean, if you've ever had a company and you're getting ready to go through a firing exercise and you're the low hanging fruit, have you ever been in a big company where they it's total parasitic warfare, bro?
Exactly.
Okay? Who's going to survive the 28% cut that's coming? Do I have the metrics? I mean, you get people for years this is why I think we need to get rid of every professional politician. They all just need to step down. Step them down, dude. If I was Trump, I wouldn't trust one human being that's been in office for more than 4 years. And that would even be great scrutiny. Now, do you guys think this will be attempted again? If tempted once, why not do it again? I don't hear anybody freaking out.
They can try drones. There's so many different ways to kill people now. And
no, but that's not my question. My question is, do you guys think they're going to attempt this again, or what's going to happen? What happens now? What happens right now? What happens to the stock market tomorrow morning? We just had. I have been saying for a year. I can send the damn recording. Michelle McCory, Kitco. I hate to be one of these guys that do this because I think too many people go, "Hey, remember when I made that call?" I've been saying that we would have a massive, massive war as long as Prometheus has known me. And that we would have an event that would be an attempt to stop the election.
Yep.
And if anything would stop the election or at least side rail it so that it had its end result, an assassination would absolutely be the case. And it's staggering to me how obvious this is. And I think it has to go further. See, that's why I get a little frustrated with EKG, because if I think it has to go further, because even right now, there should be people like every major media company this shouldn't be what Biden says, dude. Biden should have said, "Hey, that is heinous."
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking find those son of a bitches and drill them into the ground, dude.
Exactly.
Okay, he didn't say that. He's like, "Man, I'm sorry we missed. We fucked it up again. Now give me a hit of that shit." I told you we shouldn't have sent Hunter on that fucking expedition. Second thing is, you don't find a fucking guy on a roof 300 to 400 meters away. And I'll bet you the guy was within 150 meters. You do not find a kid on the roof. Go get him, boys. See? These dogs, they would have had 100 dogs out there today. Dude, my dogs are going crazy. I would love somebody to try to bust in here and grab some Bitcoin. Snap them right now. Boom, boom. I mean, we got to get fucking aggressive here. Anyway, I might have gone overboard there. My dogs are hungry, but and I don't really mean that. That's why I have the dogs, because I would never want to shoot somebody or harm anyone unless I absolutely had to. But I don't know why they would stop now. They've shown their hand, dude.
Well, see, Gary, I'm inclined to agree with you. And allow me to clarify something.
Defend your manhood?
Defend my manhood, because I don't want to be enemies.
Well, that's not a good reason. That's not a good reason to have reasoning. So you want to defend your American shit.
I want to defend. Okay. I want to be authentic. I am an American. I'm proud to be an American. I truthfully find myself not being full-blooded Democrat or Republican. If I had to choose one, I would choose Republican, because it's the better of the two scenarios. So I'm not pro give all my money to the government. I'm not pro government controls everything I do. I like Mike here. I'm a Texan. I enjoy living in Texas. I enjoy my freedom of firearms like you, Gary. I don't want to use them, but I'm glad to have them, and I'm glad my neighbors have them, right? Because if something goes down, we're all a little safer out there. But if this, I'm not saying it was or wasn't, just if it was truly an assassination attempt and they said Trump has to get deleted, why would they stop? Maybe they say, oh, people are going to think we're bad guys. We already think you're bad guys. What do they got to lose? Why would they stop? It might not be a shooting.
If I may briefly,
maybe they poison his food. Who knows? I think we lost you, Prometheus.
Sorry, I think my
made in Asia Wi-Fi.
Yeah, made in Canterbury. But no, it's first of all, I don't think that this was staged at all. Like, I'm putting it down to 0%. And the reason I say that is because, again, you have 2 dead assailants and you have 1 woman who was killed. You know, it doesn't strike me.
I don't think that we know that we have 2 assailants, do we? I don't think we know that.
I don't think we know that
for
sure. They did release a picture of the guy that was on the top of that thing, of that building or whatever it was. But they did.
Oh, I just accidentally removed my.
Yeah.
I'll stay off.
Mike,
They
sorry.
posted. That's all right. They posted a video of this guy being interviewed that was saying that they told law enforcement that there was a guy on the top of that building, and they told, like, numerous people saw the guy on the top of the building, and they reported him, and law enforcement did nothing. So what that means, I don't know, but if that's the case, that is not good.
Well, they could have been bought off.
Bro, this is, I mean, there is no telling. There's no reason to eliminate anything. Like, I mean,
hey, that doesn't happen in the with the greatest intelligence organization in the world, guys. Flunk. How many flunks do you get? I mean, there's no way out of this trade. Okay, you're either totally incompetent or you're totally a criminal.
Yeah.
So admit one of them. Whoa, we really fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody's going to probably die. There's probably going to be some kind of trail of people like, well, tragically, so-and-so at the department of so-and-so was killed in a car wreck. And
right.
Yeah.
Just oops.
Okay, guys, I'm going to start moving some people around.
Sure, I don't mind dropping down. Thanks for having me up.
Yep. Appreciate the prayer. Thank you so much.
Hey, Gary.
Yeah, buddy.
I asked Dr. Ben Marble. Do you know him?
Don't think so. But, yes, I do know him. Yes.
Yeah, I asked him to come over because I didn't know if you had a way to get what he's very afraid that Trump's doctors will be. He has information he wants to give him. If there's a way that you could connect him, I figured if anybody I know would have that connection, you might have that connection. But he's a legit man. Like, he's my doctor, just so you know.
What do you want me to do?
Ben Marble's worried that Trump's doctors might be a problem, and he wants to talk to him and warn him.
Yeah, I'm sure. I mean, if I was Ben Marble, I would just go ahead and make that announcement online and go out. But I suspect he's pretty safe right this second. Look, there's nothing you and I can do, right? There's nothing you and I can do about Trump. But hey, let's say that Trump dies tonight. What are we going to do? There's a great question. Okay, I know some people are asking me, saying, "Hey, who are you surrounding yourself with?" There are people that are coming up here on screen and talking. So, you want to come up here and help me? Bring it. Please help me. This is a lot of hard work, dude. I just got off one of these spaces, and I did not expect to be back up here like 10 seconds later. Can you imagine how big this room would be right now? Mike, I was running a room with, I don't know how many people were in there with hip slap. But we closed it, and then 10 minutes later, if you don't think, does anybody in the audience think it's not outrageous, absolutely outrageous of what happened in the last 2 hours? Anybody in the audience, can anyone defend this? Please let me know, man.
Well, I hope I don't hear it, man, because it makes me want to slap somebody at the comment the wrong way.
The only person who would say anything is a troll. I mean, nobody could want this. I mean, I know there's somebody who wants this, but not good people.
Man, there's nothing inside my body at all that would want anything like this to happen to Biden. Honest to God, like not even the slightest. Right. I don't even want the guy to fall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even like that. Yeah. I don't like his policies, and I don't think he's the best person in the world, but who is? But I don't want anything bad. Like, it makes me cringe when he falls and hurts himself. I don't like that. Yeah. And yet I know that there are people on the left that are genuinely upset that this did not work out the way that they wanted it to work out. And they're going to make jokes about it. And yeah, I think you're going to see a lot of people at work get slapped by people, to be honest with you. What'd you say? Get off me. Say it again.
You think so?
I do. I'm serious. I do. I think you're going to walk up to somebody somewhere and you're going to pop off about Trump, and somebody's going to freaking knock the shit out of you. You know? Get up. Say it again. We'll see.
You know,
what's the news saying right now? Do we have any updates whatsoever? I mean,
Biden did have a video that he came out and said that he was trying to get a hold of Donald.
All I see is Bitcoin's going to probably hit 60 grand. Whether that's related or not, I have no idea. Yeah. I do think this is a good advertisement for Bitcoin. Last hour.
Yeah, it's 3%. I'm looking at mine right now. What we got?
You know, did anybody hear anything from Kennedy?
No, I have not.
Kennedy did. He came out immediately and said something. He came out immediately and said that, I'm just paraphrasing, but that basically roughly the same talking points, but it was a very solid response from Kennedy. Just on a side note, Gary, you're talking about Bitcoin. I'm looking at some of the got a few, couple bucks in some of the Politify coins, the meme coins and stuff like that. Those things are running right now. Like Dolan Trump is up 70%, Super Trump's up 50%. MAGA is up 35%. MAGA again is up 45%. Yeah. So it's
look at some of the comments. I don't know if you guys can hear me or see me, but
yeah.
Alex Finn says, no matter where you stand on political spectrum, this is one of the saddest days in American history. A complete collapse. You
got to put the comments up on the chat, up on the screen, Gary.
You know what? You are one big stud, son.
Yeah. Just something I put together. Just
how's that? Now, would you guys rather be in the space also? See, this is what I know most people would do. Martin Fry, F-R-Y. However, what I'm going to do.
No, I'm going to put the live comments up.
Is more judicial. Oh, what do I need to do that, my friend?
You know what? I'm not sure if you can't put all the live comments up. I think you just have to kind of put them in one.
There's some things in here I have to tell you that you would not want read in public about you.
About Mike?
Yeah. Sorry to say, buddy. Sorry. I mean, I'm just saying, I think you're a bit too sensitive for some of the stuff I've read.
Oh, man.
Anybody else? Anybody else have the same thing?
Screw everybody in your audience.
Let's
Just
see.
because I said I'd slap somebody for talking about Trump, you know what I'm saying? Look, sometimes people got to get a little slapped around a little bit. That's life, you know? No, I was just asking if you could shut up. What? Nothing. Shut up.
Oh my God, you doing that now? Hey, let's keep it professional, okay? I can't ruin my reputation by being associated with you.
That's true.
So I'm going to ask the question again, okay? What would we be doing right now if he was dead?
We wouldn't be on here. I think we would be tuned into the news like
Yeah,
9/11.
We'd be on here.
Well, I don't think we'd be talking about it. I think we'd be tuned in. I think we'd be tuned into probably 3 or 4 spaces maybe, and then have the news on in the background and just trying to absorb as much as we possibly could out of pure hopelessness, you know?
Yeah, I wouldn't. I don't know. Like my wife just prayed. That's the only thing she thought to do. What there's not. What do we do? I mean, really, the only thing we could do is immediately try to find a candidate that we would all back equally, because, I mean, for the sake of the free world, what else are we going to do, right? That has to be paramount.
Well, that's why I said it was important that he has his vice president, because that person would be whoever Trump picks is the person that we would support. And now, if it did happen like that, you're having an entirely new. You have to go through all the crap we just went through again.
Yes,
you know.
I know.
But I think that, let's say he named Vivek as his vice president, right? Then we know that come election time, we're all behind Vivek. We would know it immediately.
But I'm asking a more difficult question. What would we be doing really right now? How would the world be responding if this was a successful attempt?
Russia would probably go. I mean, there'd be no reason for them not to continue. I don't know. I don't want to say it, man. I just don't want to.
Russia got nothing to do with this, man.
Oh, no. I mean,
I got to tell you something, okay? I'm less worried about Russia than I am my own crew.
Oh, yeah, me too. But I mean, as far as Russia is being provoked right now, and as soon as they know that they can't negotiate with Trump, then they'll know they have no choice but to go to full-blown war, and we're going to get dragged into it.
Don't disagree. Do not disagree.
Yeah, and I'm not excited about it. And I don't dislike Russia. You gotta understand, like my neighborhood, like, do you know where all the Russians moved? They moved to my neighborhood, man. Like there's like all the houses got bought up in I live in a brand new subdivision.
Yes,
every house got, like 60% of the neighborhood was bought up by Slavic people.
Let me read. I hadn't read that yet.
You want to read it out loud?
Yeah, I want to thank the United States Secret Service and all law enforcement for their rapid response on the shooting that just took place in Butler, Pennsylvania. Most importantly, I want to extend my condolences to the family of the person at the rally who was killed, and also to the family of another person that was badly injured. It is incredible that such an act can take place in our country. Nothing is known at this time about the shooter, who is now dead. I was shot with a bullet that pierced the upper part of my right ear. I knew immediately that something was wrong when I heard that whizzing sound, shots, and immediately felt the bullet ripping through the skin. Much bleeding took place, so I realized then what was happening. God bless America. Occam's razor, right? I think that's pretty much what we thought in the initial aspect of it. I thought that's what he was shot. It hit him in the freaking ear. He reacted, went like this. He didn't get tackled. He went down on his own. He ducked on his own.
See the comment by Conor McGregor?
Outstanding. Yeah.
See, I think it might be good because I'm noticing, and correct me if I'm wrong, and if you guys have some ideas of some really good panelists instead of you idiots to get up here, that'd be awesome. But I think since it's so hard to confront what we're going to do about this, because the truth is, if he was laying down dead with half his skull gone, I don't think we'd be doing anything different. I think we're confused. We don't know what to do. And I'd love to talk about us not knowing what to do. But if we can't talk about what we're going to do or what we're scared to do, I'd love to talk about stuff like this, where people are pointing out really key, simple, core principle facts. For instance, 78-year-old multi-billionaire, he should be on his yacht. Instead, he's in Pennsylvania spitting out bullets. This is the America I grew up under. Superman, what's the guy's name? Clark Kent. Okay. I mean, I wanted to be Superman. Babe Ruth was a good guy, right? He was a hero. I mean, I didn't focus on his drug addiction and his alcoholism and his ability to strike out better than anybody in the history of mankind. We focused on the home runs. So I think this is a great opportunity to crystallize who we are as Americans. But we have to start talking about this. This is outrageous, okay? This is like, if this doesn't get your blood boiling, I don't know what is. And we really need to start thinking about, I'm just finding it very interesting that we don't know what to do. I've heard nobody come up here, even in the comments, hey, what should we do here?
Well, I'm married. I can't risk saying that. I mean, if you want to know the truth. Do I feel what everyone's feeling? Yeah. Look, man, I've read about you and I watched you and your brother talk. I grew up the exact same way, man. I was a fighter, but as a man, now that I have to take care of my wife, I can't be a fighter like that. I have to ask everybody to stay calm, and it's going to have to be contracts, treaties, and agreements. And maybe I'm weak. Maybe it made me weak. I'm just being honest. Like, it's scary for me to think this way. Like, I realize how close we are. If he would have went down, I mean, we could have shots, people running around the street, just looting and going crazy. It could be pandemonium.
Here's a beautiful comment. Frankie Marino Jr. I don't know you, sir, but tempted to follow you immediately. In fact, I will. Don't wound what you can't kill. Primary rule with alphas, dude. Like, if you start shooting people, kill them. Make sure they never come back. I think we stirred up a hornet's nest, and I, for one, am here to help. But I do think we are lost. Does anybody else think that we don't really know what to do? Man, that response was outrageous.
Is Mike still on? I was thinking Mike or somebody would say, honestly, where we'd find leadership with his family. I would probably default to Don Jr. and see what he wanted to do, because I trust him. I like him. I trust him. Have
you met him?
No, I've not met him in person, but I did help connect a few people with his staff from they were police officers they just needed to get information to him. And that happened. He's just a good guy. I mean, I grew up in Florida. I'm sure I could probably just walk over and talk to him if I was out. But no, Don Jr. though, I honestly, I'm afraid I don't trust anybody like I trust Trump, and I trust his son equally, and so I would just hope. I would like to see them run as a ticket. I don't, probably can't even be legal to do, but I'm so worried that they'll take him out, that if they had his son there, maybe they would think twice about it. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I hate even talking this way, man. Is Mike not around? He likes to He likes
Yeah, I don't know where he is, but he didn't sign a contract with me, so you know, this put me off of Kennedy quite a bit. That what they were doing in the courtrooms, that he wasn't going, hey, this is uncool. And I was actually going, hey, look, this. In fact, I actually said, look, Mr. Kennedy has had 2 of his uncles or dad relatives terminated kinetically, grew up in an era with 2 other guys that were kinetically terminated. And they were trying to do in courtrooms what they did to their dad. They just, you were in the room with me, man. I was going, dude, this is just not kinetic. And here we are. And Robert Kennedy should have stood up and said, this is not cool what they're doing, okay? This is effectively synthetic political, abortion, right? I mean, assassination, call it whatever you want. And then we followed up with kinetic energy. I mean, it disappointed me because of all the people. He should have been like, that is totally uncool. He was very measured in how he approached this. And here we are again. He should be saying, this is heinous. I will do anything to take care of the Trump administration. Please bring me in. This is an indicator Trump is the right solution.
Oh, absolutely. Well, even this morning, I was on a live chat with some guys, and they were saying how Trump, they thought Trump was the Trojan horse. Like that come on. If he worked for the other team, they wouldn't be trying to take him out. I mean, really. And if this doesn't prove that to everyone, then you're never going to win that vote.
Yeah. You see any of these comments here? I mean, nobody's saying anything like, staggering. Who's this? This is Jason. Who's Jason? 44 to 46. No idea what you're talking about.
BTC. I think probably BTC. I'll
say you put option at 49.
I heard that the other night, that guy with his options.
Well, that's the way to handle these kind of guys. I'm buying at 40, man. Cool, dude. How about if I sell you some insurance? Yeah, Trump evidently was expected at the UFC fight with Dana White
tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. See, this was anyway. I don't know if any of this is real, and I'm not sophisticated enough, or maybe not sophisticated enough, but talented enough or tolerant enough to move through all these screens to figure out what we can show the audience.
Oh, just send me over. Did you show the audience the one I showed you about the woman? I don't know if people want to see that. I mean,
go ahead. Put it up. Put it up. Can you present it?
Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna get a. Let's see. I'll just have you.
I don't know why more people haven't been willing to come up here and chat. You guys, you scared of video? You don't have to come on video, by the way. You can just come on audio and give some input. What are you feeling? What's happening? How the fuck is this happening in our country, dude? Like, I grew up in a country where we were like badasses. People liked us. And that is not the case anymore. I'm really disappointed in my leadership. Okay, very, very disappointed in the United States government. It's abysmal.
Oh, that's weird, doesn't
it? And Henry, I think actually we're all responsible at some level for being apathetic, lazy, letting this kind of go on for a long, long time. This didn't just happen just like this. You don't start being so brave as to like shoot people. This is a long freaking journey to get here. And I think we've all been very soft on the little slippery slope that we've gone down.
This is strange. The video is not playing. Actually, there's probably a lot of people trying to watch this video.
Oh.
Let me see here. But yeah, did you get to see though? I'll just describe it. Yeah, the poor woman that was behind him looks like she lost her life, and then the guy on the roof I think you guys were talking about when I came in.
Yeah, what the guy on the roof?
Yeah, did you see the guy on the roof? Yeah,
Yeah, how far away, do we know how far away that was?
From where Trump was? I don't know.
Yeah.
I saw video of people with a cell phone showing the distance that they were, and I think they were behind it. So I'm not sure. But again, it was one of those things, like, I looked at it and I thought, are you kidding me? Like, I'm not a trained Secret Service, and that would have never happened if I was. I mean,
Correct. Thank you.
That's just, come on.
Thank you, dude.
Like,
Hey, somebody in the audience, find out how far away was that unit, that little warehouse thing he was sitting on. It did not look like it was like 300 meters. Okay. That's a big shot, by the way. I think 300 meters in this kind of event. If I'm him and I'm sitting on there and I think I'm actually the shooter, let's just pretend I make the kill shot, I'm free. I don't make the kill shot, I'm massively exposed. I mean, Can you imagine the pandemonium? But you know what? Nobody answered this, Henry. It is Henry, right?
Well, that's that. Do you know my real name is Norwood?
Norwood?
That's my
Norwood?
alias. Norwood, yeah.
Norwood. Why the hell did Trump have his head exposed for at least half a minute after the first attempt?
I don't want to. Would I have done that? No, and I'm not trained. No.
Anybody in the audience trained would love to hear from you. Okay, would absolutely love to hear from anybody in the audience that's trained. Why did it take the CIA, Secret Service, whoever was there, that much time to get Trump out?
Yeah. Well, just ask yourself, like, I mean, just for my wife, right? I'm going to completely surround her, like, with every ounce of body I have. I saw, and his head came out a few times. I was a little shocked that they allowed that. Because let's see, I'm not an expert with the Kennedy assassination, but I think do people agree that there's multiple shots with that from different angles? I'm not sure what the consensus is there, but from my understanding is that was one of the arguments posed. So, you got to think of any exposure after the fact is still just as bad as the original, because it leaves the potential.
Well, if this shot is correct, let's see if I can show the audience a bigger format of this thing. If this is correct, man, I mean, you literally are seeing the bullet right here.
Oh my.
Oh yeah, bro.
Oh,
it's amazing, huh? Yeah.
Did someone you trust give you this?
This is published by. That's a great question, by the way. I'm never offended by, hey, where's the source? We should ask that more often. Yeah. But let me see where this is from. Sorry, I'm just having a problem bouncing. If anybody knows in the audience any more of this information, like pop up or ping us. Let me see where this is from here. This was the instant that the bullet struck Trump. Had Trump not moved his head by a fraction of an inch, he would no longer be alive. So don't know exactly the source. I'm not sure I want to go down and look at all that data, but let's just see.
Oh, Mario?
Yeah, it doesn't make it right. Okay. I agree with you. It's a good question, but apparently this is a picture, right? I don't know what kind of camera would get that kind of speed.
That was my thinking was, is that possible with like a CNN camera?
I would have thought so, dude. I would have thought there were so many cameras there that for sure. I would have thought.
Frames per second though, isn't, the human eye is very slow in how we perceive things. Like we are very slow. People don't really think about it, but relative to certain animals, we don't see very fast.
No, that's right.
What are we looking at here, Gary?
Looking at basically the Trump ambulances in the blockades getting to the hospital. Really, what I'm looking for, Henry, is I'm looking for some information on the original shot and why Trump wasn't removed from the stage immediately.
Okay.
If somebody in the audience could look for some of that stuff, that would be really awesome. I tell you, it's very fascinating. Alex Jones has 300,000 people in a room discussing this. Benny Johnson has 189,000. Donald Trump just shot Meek Kelvin, 61,000. Reuters, 25,000. Hilarious. Old school Reuters, mainstream media. Myron Gaines, we have a bunch of people here, 4,000 people. This is exciting. Oh, yeah, 4,000 people on this stream. This is exciting America right now, guys. So retweet the space. I'm at my best when I have an agenda, when I have a purpose to live. And it is fascinating. I feel so fortunate. I say this with all great honesty. I feel so fortunate to be alive right now and to be able to play a role in being purposeful, whether we were successful or not. I mean, to the gentleman that said, hey, look, I can't really afford it. I have a kid.
Oh, that was
that was you? Yeah.
No, not a kid, my wife.
Yeah, I hear you. But you know what? I think we're going to have to decide whether we're going to be willing to really fight. And I don't think freedom is free, man. 230 years ago, I think a lot of people were tortured for where we are today. And it's been a long time since, the everyday American has done any suffering whatsoever.
Yeah, that's, look, when we left Washington, my wife and I, because we wouldn't take the vaccine, I thought I was going to have to defend us then. I didn't know if they'd let us out of the state. And I mean, when I say that, I'm not even saying that to be tough at all. I was scared, and I can fight. I grew up fighting. I'm not afraid to fight. I'm not really afraid of other people. It's just something I'm not. But I'm scared to death that I can't protect my wife. I mean, I'm serious. Like, that's my biggest fear in the entire world is that. That's it. And so, yeah, I mean, it makes me weak. That's my Achilles heel,
Yeah, I think they know this, right? That we've had 100+ years since we've had to fight for anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, like in my 20s. Yeah, man. When I was young and free and just had nothing to lose. Yeah. It's easy then.
See, now check this out. Okay. Check this out. Okay. I finally found this. Here we are.
Wow.
So here we are at the shot, right? Now there's 12 seconds here, at least. Watch this.
Oh, wait. He puts his fist up. You know what? Look at his eyes. He knows now. He knows. He thought this was a business deal, and they were just going to beat him with contracts, and now he knows.
I don't know if the audience can hear the. Can you hear it?
No.
Norwood, can you hear it? Can you
hear it? Yes, we definitely are. We're hearing it.
Also, looks like he's saying "fuck you."
He said fight. I think he said fight. He said, wait, and he put his fist up and said, fight, 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 fight.
And that's why I'm on this stream tonight right here. I think at the end of the day, like we just have to make a decision. I'm expecting to get canceled. I really am, because I think and I do understand your position. I have a 14-year-old and a 17-year-old, and I think I've kind of already told them, I'm like, no, you might have to put up with some shit because your dad's actually not going to go quiet. And I invite you just to have the conversation with your family. I got it, dude. I know, but we either are going to stand for something or we're not. And I don't think there's going to be a middle ground here.
I understand.
And you get one chance to save the world.
I understand.
It's a Bruce Willis moment, man. It's a Bruce Willis moment. Yeah. I've always wanted to be a hero. I mean, for me, it's a very interesting thing. I think maybe it's the only thing I really have to add to value here is that it's actually the only thing that I think that maybe as a just a really credible, hey, look, I'm going to do the right thing. This is the moment, I think. I think we're going to there have been people that have gone to the guillotine and to slavery and prisons and been hung for freedom. And I don't think in my lifetime, I have not had to fight that much for freedom, if I'm really honest, relative to other people that I've seen in other parts of the world. And it may just be that we are going to have to bend over and take a dose of humility and start fighting for what is most people would slit your fucking throat for.
Yeah.
And we just banter it around like nothing, man.
Yeah. Well, and that's what I liked about you, Gary. Because when I first, I didn't know who you were until I saw you show up on that with HODL, British HODL, and then I didn't tell you this. Do you know why I contacted? Do you know? I was sitting there. There's like 5 times in my life. I was living in my car.
If you want to really see something that said,
sorry.
Oh, not a problem. When I was living in my car when I was like 17 years old and behind a Subway in Florida. I lived in Bradenton, Florida. That's where I grew up. And I worked at Subway, and then I would just go sleep in my car at night. And then I go to the gym in the morning. And anyway, a cop came by one night, and he's like, "You can't stay here anymore." And he didn't like me. He thought I was a smart ass. Told me so. And
you probably were.
I was. And but I remember I broke down that night, and I thought, man, I can't do this anymore. Like I can't even sleep. And all I wanted to do was surf. And it popped in my head, go surf. And I followed that. And I swear to God, my entire life fell right into place. And that's all I had to do. I had no plan. I just lived in my car and traveled and surfed with my best friend. And anyway, the reason why I brought that up is the only other time I can remember was for my wife. My wife and I we knew we needed to go do this. We met in college, and she was not going to take the course. They were paying her to take this course, and she wasn't going to take it. And then because she was about to graduate, and she did. And then we met, and she told me. And so that was the second time. The third time I was like, I saw you, and I got this, it said, contact him. Do you know what? I seriously went right to your page, and you pulled me right on the air. That was the very first time. Like, you pulled me right on the air. Like, and I was like, what? Anyway.
Tell me the part 15 seconds before.
What?
How did you get to the room in the first place?
Oh, I saw British HODL. So I was like, oh, I like this guy.
Yeah.
And then I got this, it was like, it just felt like someone like just came behind me and just like, go over there. And so I just put in your name and pulled you up, and you had immediately, there was a spot available, and I just clicked on it, and you just brought me up. And I had never spoken before to any of never. to any. I mean, not on X.
Yeah,
and
sure.
So I just thought that was interesting. It was shocking to me that you pulled me right up. And I don't know if people, you got to understand, Gary, like, I'm just a normal guy. Gary did not know me. Any of you can come up. He is a nice guy. I don't know. It's kind of shocking to me. Why aren't you guys coming up? Like, we could have some good banter here.
Yeah, well, and listen, you could go to the Mario Spaces. It has 54,000 people, but your voice isn't going to get heard. So I really appreciate you being here. It's been enjoyable getting to know you, dude. Like, I'm not sure why I would be closed. I don't think anyone can hurt me. See, I have a cool thing going for me. I have a very clean closet in my background. So I'm not worried about introducing people into my life that I haven't scrubbed down. And I know people are going to try to take advantage. Some people will, right? But
they will.
Whatever. I'm not going to live in a cave, man. It's a horrible way to live. I actually, listen, I think Bitcoin, one of the most impressive values of Bitcoin for me is that you and I would never have met if it were not for Bitcoin.
That's right.
There's zero way you and I would have ever met. Not in the history of mankind. This is not about this assassination. I wouldn't even be here, dude. I don't need to be doing this shit. I find Bitcoin to be really fascinating in that way. And at 59,614, not a penny.
I see it. Yeah.
Like, I just got pitched by a dating agency, some European, global dating agent, $100,000 a year.
Wow.
Let me introduce you to the most exotic human beings. Oh, $100,000 a year, dude. Fucking
but
stupid.
You need that. Like I was showing you to my wife, and my wife's like, well, why would he? She thought you're a good looking man. Like, why would you need that?
Why would you need it?
Have you ever? My wife suggested that you read the C.S. Lewis book. Have you ever read C.S. Lewis?
I have. Which one is she?
Give me. You tell your story. I'm going to ask her real quick. I'll be right back.
Tell my story. I don't have a story, dude. I was checking your story out. See, I'm always left alone. Always left alone. Where's my boy Sam at? If Sam's running his own damn show, I'm going to be very disappointed. Somebody ping him up. Ping that boy up. Okay, let's look at these. Fred and Dad. Let's see. What else do we have? Guys, I appreciate you guys being patient with me. I am not a professional actor or news person.
Mere Christianity. Mere Christianity.
I don't know that book.
Yeah, she says that's what you need to read. My wife's very smart and intuitive. She's
saying I need to read what?
Mere Christianity by C.S. Lewis. I've never read it.
Mere. M-E-R-E.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I just had to tell you, man. My wife stopped me and said, "Hey, he needs to read this book." And I said,
"Yeah,
okay."
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, man. No. Hey, you did your job. I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. Appreciate you. I'm told the shot was 150 yards by Eddie Carlin. Do we have any other news that anybody knows about? Because I'm going to probably run this space about 30 minutes more, Mr. T. And unless somebody, everybody keeps talking about shots fired. How many shots? Do we know how many shots were fired?
Well, one person was down from the actual shooter, or from Secret Service.
I mean, anybody. I'd like to know the whole story. I don't know why we don't already know.
Right. Well, right. The news companies should have. Well, the news companies. Did you see what was happening though?
No.
People, they were going to go get them. They said they blame them. Did you not hear that?
They were going to get who?
CNN. The people. Yeah, the people turned and faced them and were going to aggressively go at them. They blame them. And I guess even I'm listening to Steve Bannon's channel right now, and apparently he was trying to calm people down because they're blaming the news. And so, I mean, that could have been really bad for these people. Very, very bad.
I think it's got to get bad for the whole country, dude.
Yeah,
I don't think you can just sit on this and just pretend like it didn't happen.
I know. Like I said,
I mean, let's walk through a scenario here. I'm good at this kind of stuff. Let's walk through a straw man where it's July the 13th, and we have an election on November the 2nd. We have a Democratic National Convention on August 16th. And we have an RNC in 3 days, which just got fucked up.
Yeah.
So how does this play out? What we don't confront what just happened.
What do you thinking? Because you're asking it, man. You must want to say what you're thinking, but you're asking me. So what do you really
I'm asking people to think this through. Okay. We have August the 16th is a Democratic National Convention, which means they have had to decide who is on their ballot. Right. And that means that they have less than 30 calendar days to do that.
Yeah.
Now, if you remove the 30 calendar days and go, how many weekdays do they have? Which, by the way, Saturday's not one of them. So they're working today for certain. So we have 20 days, dude, to the DNC, working days. And I have been telling everybody back at least 2 weeks ago that we would have an event sometime at the end of July, into August or September, because you have to. You have to drive the point here. If I'm the other team, I don't care if I bet on Biden or whoever. I have to play this out now, which means that I have to hope he doesn't show up.
Who, Biden?
That's it, dude.
You don't want Biden.
Trump can't show up.
Oh, Trump. Do you realize?
Trump can't show up.
Did you think of how this could really play out? Like, you could have Trump and, like, if today would have went their way, you could have Biden replace a complete new ticket. It's terrifying that they could.
Hey, if Trump's head would have been blown off his shoulders, you guys should be asking yourself what the hell would be happening right now. Okay. Mitt Romney would be jacking with us. Okay. The whole crew, bro. The whole crew. You guys do not. I actually think we are miles away from solutions because I do not hear enough violent response here. I hear a bunch of limp dicks, man.
Well, I mean, you're talking. Most of us are over 40 now. I mean, we're old men.
So what, bro?
No, I hear. Like I told you, like if I were single, yeah,
we should know better. We should know better than the young people. The young people have had it all given to them on a silver platter. See, now I'm going to get going. This is where people will like me because we're going to just get down to basic.
Man. I
Since
know.
nobody has the balls to come and join me on the damn show, I'll just pour another fucking whiskey. And this is fucking outrageous, okay? We have so absolutely lost our way. Like, I'm challenging most of the men that are listening to this that you guys are not pulling your weight. You're not, okay? Like, I have a lot of money. I get hammered, dude. I will get stopped, blocked. I have more freedom than most people. And I'm sitting here thinking that I cannot possibly be quiet. This is crazy. You would think this was Brazil, Venezuela, Russia, China, some third world country. This is not the country I grew up in. Dude, I grew up 1958, March 21. Space rockets were going to go. Maybe that was a whole lie, okay? Maybe what we all need to do is just get all the lies out. But when I grew up between the age of, and I believe that the first 7 to 8 years are basically what forms your future of a new organism like humans. I learned how to play baseball, be a team member, learn how to be good, play on the first team if I deserved it, but sit on the bench if I didn't, play all day without mommy sucking on my dick. I mean, like without daddy having to walk me around, stick a helmet on me. Okay, I got in some trouble because I had a little bit of too much freedom, but I see people getting in trouble right now and they had zero freedom. Taking drugs when they're 8 years old, medicating everything that itches. And I don't know, dude. It's like when I was 20 years old, I would have gone to war for this country. And my children right now, if they invoked a whatever it's called, I would spend money removing my children from this country. That is disgusting that I'm embarrassed with my country. I'm embarrassed, actually. It's really, and so I understand why people are apathetic. Because most people haven't ever done anything and they go, oh, wow, actually, it doesn't take very, I'll tell you a funny story. I met a guy in Britain, and I had been with him for 3 or 4 years. He looked at me one day. He said, I have never met anyone who could single-handedly. Well, he was very impressed at how much one human being could do. And I think we underestimate how much one, like I like you, dude. You seem to be a nice guy. I guarantee you're fully underutilized.
Absolutely.
More potential than kinetic. It's not, and there's nothing to be ashamed of it. But as soon as we announce it and go, like, I actually think I have massive amounts more potential than I have actually enjoyed kinetically. And people should say that to me. You know what that's going to do for me? It's going to make me better.
Yeah, it's your personality. No, I knew it. No, I grew up like you. I recognized the bravado, and I instantly saw that you were a decent guy, though. Like at first I was like, and then I was like, no, this guy, you have the Batman syndrome. Like you are. It's your nature to want right and justice, and I was like, oh, I like that guy.
Yeah, I have always liked the underdog, man. Really, I get a hard on when the big boy takes advantage. I don't mind if you're a big boy. I actually love big boys. But dude, don't take advantage. Don't be a bully. Start being a bully, I will go to jail. I mean, I never have, but I would. You know that movie, the movie Con Air, one of my favorite movies in the whole world, where Nicolas Cage gets out of the military. He's been trained to be a lethal cutting machine, right? He goes to a bar, just gets out, day 2 or day 3, goes to a bar, meets his chick. Some guy hits on his chick. He rips his face off and 2 other guys, and he goes to prison for like felony charges. That would be me, dude. Like, I think too few people have that story to tell. We need to man up. We all need to man up.
Well, I'm friends with a lot of military that left the military because they wouldn't take the vaccine, and they're angry as hell. And I'm asking some of them right now. I'm asking them to come on because I think those are the guys that you really want to chat with right now, right? Because like these people, they don't really, you don't want to hear a guy like me. I'm old. Like I don't want to do this. You don't understand. Like I pray to God not to give me a mission. Like I'm happy. My life is everything I ever wanted. I just want it to keep going. I'm being very honest, like where I tear up almost. Like my life is everything I wanted. I met the right woman, been together 24 years. I just wanted to just live my life and die. Just, get old and die. And damn it, these people are going to attack us. Like it drives me crazy.
And then you met me and I'm going to go, no, dude, you're not an old fuck. Okay. And I'm not going to let you pussy out on me. Okay. You know what, dude? You're here for a reason. You're on this show. There is no constant. There is absolutely no coincidences. Okay. You're here. You're attracted to me. You need to man up just like everybody else in the show. Like if you say that, you go, you know what? You're right, dude. That's what I'm attracted to. Look, have you ever had enough great missions in life? Have you ever had enough great adventures in life?
I heard you ask
that. Adventures, nobody on the planet. I can ask every motherfucker I know, dude. There is not one human being on this planet that has had enough great experiences in life. They have never paid too much for a great adventure. I can ask every woman here that they were like this close to having the greatest experience of their life, and some guy just cut it short. Okay, because he didn't appreciate, hey, let's go all the way, dude. Let's go like have the ultimate experience. And this is the event for me. I'm here because you guys need somebody to excite your ass.
I think so. Yeah, I felt called to help you get Bitcoin. I thought I would I'm an expert at finding Bitcoin, and I thought I can help this guy get his Bitcoin. And now it's going to be this.
Can you get me to get it cheaper than I can normally buy?
Well, I'm one of the best. When I tell you this, I hear people come on and tell you how good they are. I'm one of the best at buying Bitcoin at the lows. I'm not the best at selling Bitcoin at the highs. Like I always bail out before I reach the peak, but I'm very good at like I find the bottom of these markets, like, and people say you can't do it. I do it, and I do it repeatedly. And so anyway, not to brag on that, but no, I've been asking some of my buddies that if they would come up, because I think that these are the guys that we need in this audience. These military guys that were.
Where is everybody? Hey, they don't have to come on video, by the way. We got almost 5,000 people here.
Let me call out some people and they just go get them. Like, what about here we go.
Mike, General Flynn. I'll take General Flynn.
Oh, General Flynn any day. Yeah.
Flynn, what just happened, sir?
What about Shoe?
Hey, dude, I think this is the second or third attempt. I think we should be so fucking angry. It's outrageous.
Does anybody know Samosaurus or Samsor Shoe? Let's get him on here. I'm gonna send him a message real quick. He's a fighter.
See, Reggie. That's what I think is gonna happen. Right here. We're going to have a lot of Reggies. You know, one of the things that the Japanese prime minister, after they invaded Pearl Harbor, he was interviewed 30 years later and was asked, hey, what were you really the most worried about? I know this sounds massively non-secular, but it is. And he said they were most worried not about the initial invasion, secondary invasion. He said 220 million people have guns in their homes. It's a different country. I don't think you can pull this shit in this country, okay? My God, we're so passive. We're so passive. I'm very worried about our population of people. I just think that we're willing to do whatever we're told to do, man. It's safer. Do you think that's true?
Well, yes. I mean, come on. I've traveled the world. Yeah, no, we're we're pansies in America. There's no doubt about it. I mean, look, but do I want to change that? I'm an old man. No, I don't want to change that now.
Well, you're not an old man, dude. But if you are an old man, why wouldn't you take more risks then? If you are an old man,
I just,
See,
man,
this is my message to older people. Actually,
I achieved everything I wanted. Like, I didn't want to be a billionaire. I only trade because I like being right and in testing if I'm good enough. It's just a test. It's a game. It's not for the money. Like, I don't need any more money. Like, my wife and I could just live the rest of our life comfortably, and it's everything I wanted. Like, when I tell you that, I got a nice brand new house. Everything is easy for me. I wake up every day. I just get to kiss my wife, and we have coffee, and like the rest of you guys. And I get it. We're being called now, right? Gary's calling us saying, we need you. And it's terrifying to me because, like, I know he's right. I get he's right. But damn, I just didn't want to. Like, when I say I pray to God not to give me a mission, I really pray to God not to give me a mission. My wife prays for a mission. I don't know if she got me called up for a mission against my will, but damn, I pray not to have the mission. Like, that's just so you know, Gary, like, I'm that happy. Like, I'm content. So I know it's wrong and it's a pansy move, right? But damn, I really
it's not wrong. It's not wrong. But what it is it's whether you like the journey or the adventure or not, you're still gonna have to man up.
No, I get it. Yeah.
You either man up or you get it taken from you. Look at what they just did, dude.
I know.
I mean, I don't think anyone's really understanding what the fuck just happened. Because I'm not seeing enough upsetness about it. It's staggering to me. I don't get it.
Well, it's really, we need to know who we're going to back. I mean, because the only thing we can do is shift our focus. And I know, well, for instance, is your audience, I don't know if your audience watched Steve Bannon on the War Room, but I watch him every day. And when they sent him to jail, man, I was mad as hell. And I'm still mad as hell they sent Steve Bannon to jail. He's a great man. He's a real, no one even talks about him now. He's a great man. Like, and they just sent him to jail. And so I recognize this can happen to any of us, me, you. It's just a matter of time.
Look at a Hollow Man, man. Hollow Man, I'm 47.
Come on up, Hollow.
I'm getting ready to fight and serve my country. Never too old. Yeah.
Come chat, Hollow. Hey, Gary, post again the link on your page. Maybe they don't understand how to get to this. Do you guys know how to find the link to get in here? Maybe that's what they don't know how to do.
Let's see. How would they not know how to do that?
Well, let me just tell them how I find it. Just go to Gary's Twitter.
Yeah.
You'll see it. You'll see the link right on his Twitter page.
Oh, go to @GaryCardone on Twitter, and then it'll bring you right here to the StreamYard.
I contacted Ann. I thought Ann Vandersteel would be a good. Would be good.
Yeah, it's interesting how few comments actually. Trump released from hospital. BitHump says, BitBump, if you got any more data, would love to know. Looks like the sniper was trying to spot the shooter. Yeah, dude, that was dodgy. Did you see that video? Two snipers right behind Trump. How the hell? It makes no sense. Makes no sense.
Let's see. Oh, you know what? Dr. Jane Ruby, she might come on. Yeah, I really wanted you. I didn't know if you already knew Ben Marble, but I wanted you to chat with him. I thought you two would be, man, that guy. You want a fighter? Do you know Ben Marble's story, guys?
No, I don't.
Ben Marble was an ER doctor making about $400,000 a year, loved his job, completely happy. He shows up to work one day, and they say the nurse tells him he calls her Nurse Hatchet or something like that, and she shows up and she says, "You're going to have to get your shot, doctor." And he said, no. I just was sick. I'm not exactly. He quit that. That was the day he quit. An ER doctor. And then, man, do you know, like, I mean, he will tell you what he really thinks. Like, I mean, he is no holds bar. And that's why I thought the two of you, wow. I mean, he had another chat.
Would love for you to introduce him to me. That'd be great.
Yeah. Let me see if I can send him another direct message.
I mean, the amount of stuff on Twitter here, okay? We got Jews try to assassinate Trump. Shoot your that's different. What else we got? Shot heard round the world. That's it. Trump was shot, Canadian channel. Wow. I haven't looked at mainstream media at all, but I'd be really interested to know what they're looking at. We got assassination attempt on Trump at rally, shooters dead, 500 people in a room. You know the sad part of this? It doesn't even shock me.
No, I think we all knew this was coming, right?
That's sad, dude.
Yeah.
But that's the most terrifying thing I've heard in the last 36 hours. Seriously.
Yeah. No, it is. But I bet you most of us knew, right? Look, they couldn't get him legally. So the next step was this. I think Trump was a little shocked, to be honest, looking at it in his face that they would go this far. There's no way. The idea that he thought this was just going to be, because I think I was telling you, I tend to think the world is contracts, treaties, and agreements, and that's how you want to take a country, right? You want to take a country, it's contracts, treaties, and agreements. Like kinetic,
exactly right.
Yeah, kinetics. See, the problem with kinetic war is that it tips everybody off that there's a problem. You know, it really, and so now I think Trump knows we're beyond contracts, treaties, and agreements, that this is life or death for him. And
I think it's life or death for us, bro.
Oh, yes, all of us. Yes.
I think it's life or death for all of us. And I don't think anyone's taking that very seriously. I did not expect to be here messaging this stuff. Like I didn't like. Anyway, my timing sucks, but I can't look at this and not get involved. That is exactly the reason I'm involved. It's not really Bitcoin. I see this going into a shit show, colossal proportions. And there's going to have to be people that go, hey, look, we are going to have to dig ditches now. You know, you're going to have a conversation with your wife and go, hey, look, what do we really believe in? If I fought 250 years ago for this country, lived on a ship, probably had herpes, probably had every damn disease on the planet, probably had diarrhea most of the time, ate bad food, didn't have good water, had to travel 4 months on a sailboat that wasn't built like we have today, no air conditioning. Let's see, my teeth would probably be removed with a bottle of whiskey. Broken leg would mean that I would not even be relative to society. And now we're looking at this shit going, oh, wow, some guy just got shot.
Yeah, you mean like we're just like voyeurs.
We're fucking pussies, dude.
Yeah, I understand.
That's what I mean.
Well,
we've gotten lazy. It's been too easy.
Well, the plan was pretty well organized. There was everything was captured before we moved to presidential status, and so you know, it was already taken. And so the people that would have protected us couldn't protect us. Do you realize the only people we can trust in the military now are the people that left? Do you get that? Like
I do get it.
The ones that were kicked out because they wouldn't take the shot are our only friends. Like, I mean, that's terrible. I mean, does that give you goosebumps? It gives me chills, man. Like
this comment below by Hung Like a Peanut.
Monday will be business as usual.
Look at this cat. My channel is heavily censored. I'm sure it is, dude. I expect it to be massively censored because I don't pay anybody to say nice things about me, and I'm most certainly not going to be able to be buyable. Holly Man, bro, if you got some data for me, Hollow Man, please let me know, would you? I know, Logos, totally, dude. Well, listen, Thoreau, I'm going to close up here. I've done as much damage as I want to do. I really appreciate getting to know you.
You too.
I actually like, getting to know people like on these spaces, because this is literally how I get to know somebody. And I develop really good relationships this way. Like you're already going, hey, I think you're a good guy, dude. Because you've seen enough things in me. You're like, hey, he's pretty consistent. Might not agree with everything, but this is exactly the way I get to know people. And in business or in relationships, and it's been really, really successful for me. I would encourage everyone just to use that model. Be open, have a conversation, but also be willing. Like I make a lot of room for people.
Hey, who do we got?
David, what's up, David?
Oh,
what's up? Hear me?
What's up?
Yeah, man.
So, first thing is, I don't know if you guys noticed this. If you go on your iPhone and you go to news, there's one story, one story talking about this. It's from the Wall Street Journal. It says, Trump rushed off stage after apparent shots fired at rally. Campaign says he's fine. That's the headline. That's one story. So this is an assassination attempt of the most polarizing political figure probably in the entire history of our country. And they got one story on Apple News talking about it. I mean, this is like the first assassination attempt since Reagan. Obviously, probably the biggest political story in the last 50 years. And there's one story talking about it. And it's pretty benign, I would say. So, I mean, don't tell me that Apple doesn't have power. If they can suppress a story like that, an assassination attempt, I mean, that's just insane. The power that they have over what they can control, what you see, what you don't see. Because we all know when he got convicted or whatever, he got convicted of those charges or whatever. I mean, every single story in that algorithm was showing something about him being convicted. I mean, here we are, what is this, 5 hours after the fact, and you only got one story up? So the power that these people have to shut down anything that they want to shut down is pretty unbelievable. The other thing I was going to say is, I mean, I'm watching the news and they're all talking about how heroic the Secret Service is. I mean, I guess you have to give credit to the guy who actually took him out, but this is a failure of the Secret Service. This guy killed somebody, some innocent bystander got shot in the back of the head. And the only reason Trump's alive is that they missed. So this is not something to revere as some heroic effort by the Secret Service. They failed. I mean, they failed bad. This guy got onto a rooftop. You let a shooter with a long gun get onto a rooftop at a political rally? Like, talk about, at the very least, incompetence. I mean, Gary, you were talking recently, I don't know how recently it was, about how many
you can't build the incompetence theory. Okay.
It's unbelievable.
Can't sit there and brag about how big your dick is and how much military superiority we have, how much cultural superiority, how much, oversight and understanding and intel, how much money we spend relative to other countries, and let this bullshit happen. This was absolutely an inside job, dude.
Crazy.
No chance this happened on our watch if people were not betrayers, treasonous. There's treason going on in this country, okay? There's coups going on constantly in this country in the last year and a half.
Well, they did the interview. I don't know if you guys played it. I caught you a little bit later, but they were doing an interview with a guy who was saying, that he was yelling to the Secret Service for like 3 or 4 minutes before the shooting happened. Like, hey, there's this guy. He's crawling onto the roof. He's got a gun. He's like yelling to the police, and they're like not doing anything about it. It's like, it's unbelievable. And then I guess they said at the news conference, well, this guy was outside the perimeter. It's like, well, okay, well, why was your perimeter that small then? Because the guy obviously was able to shoot him from that, that far of a distance. Like, there's just so many questions that we're never going to get an answer to. Like, they're never going to answer these questions that people have. But it's just amazing to see the blackout of the news coverage on this. And I thought it was funny at CNN. I was watching CNN was doing an interview with like an eyewitness, the guy who he was standing next to the guy who got killed. So the guy's head, like blown off, like right next to him. And the final question that the CNN reporter asked the guy was, well, this, I don't know what her exact words were, but she basically asked them, will you reconsider voting for Donald Trump after this incident? Like, basically, he's going to change his vote to Biden because I guess, like, he's afraid now that this is going to happen like all the time. So it's just unbelievable that she actually had the balls to go there in the interview. It was like astounding, the hatred that these people have, and to just do anything to stop this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is really sad. Well, listen, appreciate getting to know you, sir. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, appreciate it, Gary.
Mr. T, I'm going to bail out of this thing. I don't think there's any more damage we can do. I think we're all going to have to go to work, though. I don't see how this, I do think you got to talk to your wife. How much? I think the core question is for all of us, whether there's 3 people in this room or 3 million, I don't really care, but are we going to do anything about this? And how much are we willing to sacrifice and expend for freedom? And I will maintain that anyone that's been around for the last 40 or 50 years, 10, 20, 30, 40 or 50 years, you probably haven't paid enough for the freedom that you have. And we might have to, like, have a little payday makeup period here. We're either going to nuclear war or we're going to have a depression because we have too much civil unrest. We can't agree on anything.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to incite anything. I'm just trying to, like, hey, let's be really clear where this heads. This does not head. It either goes to 1,000 people go to prison, or we have continual unrest. And attempts like we had tonight is outrageous, dude. It's I can't even. I wanted to go to bed. I can't believe that this is like happening in our country.
It's akin to when you went to bed and you woke up and the election was stolen, right? Isn't it that? It's almost deja vu, right?
A little worse though. Now we're using kinetic weapons. See, now we're showing that we will, like, they will stick you in prison.
I know.
They'll poison you. Okay, they'll kill you. They'll find a weakness you have in your sex life or your human life or your relationship life, or maybe your daughter made a mistake, or your uncle, or your cousin. Hey, there's no politician that can't get squeezed because you love the people around you and people make mistakes. So, like, it's cool for me being like, I don't have a lot of bullshit in my closet that I'd be overly concerned about. But if you go grab my daughter did.
Right. Yeah.
They give you the nuclear codes right fucking now.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I'll bend over and let you fuck me in the ass in public. I'm gonna like whatever my children like. I will become a whore, dude, for my kids.
I know.
It's just human nature.
Yeah.
That's why I think AI is going to take over our government, dude. I think AI is going to become our president.
Well, Gary, I mean, I know you're trying to end this, but I sent you an article. Do you know there's AI now that you don't need Neuralink to read your thoughts. This is what I was going to tell you.
No, I didn't know this.
No, and I'm not, guys, I know it sounds like I'm making this up. I don't have the article in front of me, but if you Google something to the effect of AI and thought reading, you'll find legitimate articles on this and studies. They are now able to, with some kind of like helmet, kind of like a Doc McFly from Back to the Future, that helmet can read your thoughts without being just sitting there. So your thoughts are actually data that are being transmitted like wireless, like Wi-Fi.
I think my thoughts are frequency. I'm starting to believe this whole thing about frequency.
No, they are. That's what I was trying to tell you. I'm not saying you're 100% right. Your thoughts transmit. And this is the thing, Gary. So I'm friends with this lady, Brianna, and she runs the Meat Initiative thing. I think you might know her. A really good woman. And I sent her this article, and I don't think she got what I was saying. So do you know?
Hey, is she hot?
She's a nice lady. Yeah. I mean, nice woman. You should get to know her. But I don't know if she has a boyfriend or married or not, but
I was just kidding, man.
But no kidding. I sent her this article. I sent her 2 articles. They're experimenting with using the UHF band and low frequencies to transmit your thoughts. Your phone runs on that, guys. I'm not saying your phone can read your mind yet, but I'm saying that they have the products already in place to simply read your mind. Once we can read everybody's mind, here's what you do. You read everybody's mind. You build a database of that. That's the collective mind. We've now built an alternative universe, a God, and that knows everything about all of us, all our dark secrets. Once that happens, that is the real matrix, though. And I'm telling you, I'm not making this up. Go research this stuff. The products are already there. And then there's one other key. So you'll notice they're working with quantum computers and neutrinos. And most people don't think much about neutrinos, but they're building these deep underground research laboratories to collect them. And if you study this, neutrinos operate with 3 flavors. And that's actually the technical term, 3 flavors. Those 3 flavors can be worked into programming language and put into, I sent you an article on this. It's legit. Put into a quantum computer. And the reason why that's important is neutrinos can go faster than the speed of light. So while everybody else is operating at the speed of light, they're faster than you. So if you have a collective consciousness that's thinking at the speed of light, and you have someone who can get in front of that, they can put whatever they want in front of your to make your brain think whatever they want at that point. Do you see? They can put a veil right over you. I mean, it's freaking crazy how close we are to this technology. So anyway, but you're right, Gary. You should really research that. You're right. Your brain does transmit this. This is why like you guys can probably feel. Do you feel my emotions right now? Do you feel I'm vibrating right now? Like inside, I'm doing this. And that's what I was telling you when you guys were talking earlier today. And I told you, oh, I'm not nervous.
No, I was picking up on what you were saying. You know, I figured out 9 months ago that I could pick up energy through this is a frequency thing. I didn't really want to go there tonight. It would be an interesting conversation, but I cannot tell you how many people I picked up on just through their commentary and realize that, hey, there's a frequency between me and this other person that is significantly different than average. And it's like, whoa, what just happened here? And that I can actually pick up the energy through this wavelength that's made me, this is why I'm holding some of these spaces, because I'm beginning to challenge everything I believe in.
I knew it.
Because I'm observing things that don't like it's jumping little gaps. So why did you know that? But it's so obvious to me, dude.
Yeah. No, I tried to figure, I was like, why is he in these spaces? Why is he doing this? Like, and I thought, well, he's very smart. Is it a business thing? And I thought, no. He's curious because you want to know. That's why you let everybody talk. Because if you didn't want to know, you wouldn't let just everybody talk. You see? I mean, most people won't let everybody talk, not even in other spaces, like with less prominent people, they won't let you talk. And so it's very interesting. I thought, man, this guy, he's different. He really wants to know. And so, Gary, you're right. You're 100% right with the idea that when your mind, a thought is actually, it's an electronic pulse of sorts, or like Wi-Fi.
I think it has mass.
Do you think it has mass? I see.
Yes,
there might be some mass.
If it has energy, it has some mass.
See,
for instance, I'll give you an example. Okay,
yeah.
I talk about going into the art room because see, I can't do this. Listen to this and do art. I can't have these I don't. It's either music or I'm not doing this, and usually I'm not being creative, just with my own imagination. But for me, my little experiment with art is really difficult. I actually feel an energy field right in front of me. Literally, it's right here. It's right here in front of me and it sits out, I'd say, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches right in front of right below my solar plexus.
Yes.
And it's something I have to push through. And every time it's there, I know, okay, there's some truth here. I need to go through this. But it's like gravity. It's really hard to get through. Come up with all kind of I'm walking through, I'm going to the art room. I'm like, I think I'm thirsty. Hey, I need a fucking coffee. I think I need a cigarette before I go in that art room. Bro, the shit that I come up with. I mean, almost on automatic. I think I have become a robot. And the closer I get to the damn door, I'm like, have the dogs been fed? Maybe I should go do that Twitter space. I'm feeling a little lonely right now. I mean, really, do I really want to paint right now? I mean, maybe I'm not in my most creative point.
Yeah, no, when you said that today, I tried so hard. I got so excited. I was like, oh my God, he said that he thought his mind was transmitting energy. And I was like, it is people.
Oh, I totally believe this, man.
Well, I just want to be 100%. It is. And I mean, this is because the technology wouldn't be able to read it if it wasn't already producing it. And do you know that the way they used to be able to read your mind was in an MRI? But so you're in business. So I had to figure out, well, how do you make an MRI portable? That was my question that I got from that. Cause I said, because the next step to really control the civilization is going to be reading thoughts and compiling all our thoughts to use against us. And so that's how I would do it. And so that's, I think, how they would do it, because they're smarter than me. And so I had to figure out, well, what device do we have that can act like a portable MRI? And it's your phone. And your phone, but we were not transmitting at high enough level. Like that device has to sit on your head to receive it at this point. So there has to be something, maybe the graphene oxide. Are you familiar with it? Research graphene oxide and what it does to the human body. They're putting it in your animal feed too. And this is why that Brianna I was telling you about, that's why I've been talking with her, because she doesn't see the overlap into like computer science and stuff. She doesn't see that. And I'm like, all sciences are being overlapped. We're going to need to build a group kind of like this, where we all come together and actually share and have people that not just readers like me, but people who are actually involved in this, who can say, this is what's actually happening and this is how you prevent it or not. But man, anyway, I got so excited. I had to tell you that, man, about the transmission. And that's why you can feel. That's why you can feel.
I have always been able to feel.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll tell you a story and then I'll end here. I was in Paris once with some English, a couple of English friends of mine. In particular, one guy's name was Barnaby. And I went into this store and it was something I didn't notice. He noticed it. But I'm in this clothing store for men and I'm touching everything. I literally could have been blind. I could literally have been like us. I mean, seriously, okay, I am totally blind and I'm going through touching all this fabric. And he's like, dude, you have touched 300 or 400 different pieces of fabric. Like, what is your deal? I'm like, there's no way I would even buy any of this stuff if it didn't feel good to me. It has to have this, and it's not feel good like this shirt. It has to have I think everything has some energy, dude. I like, especially women. Like I pick up, now the problem is my antenna on my women is like, I must want some crazy shit because that's what I end up attracting. But you know, that's my own bullshit, right? That's my own dilemma and my own drama in my own life. But it's okay for me to admit over and over, I will pick the most fucked up chick in the room, right? Because I think I like the excitement. I like the really high energy, like that vibration of sexual passion, adventure that you get from a fairy, you know, an angel, but you don't get from like, hey, I'm going to build the next 10 years of my life with you.
Well, you know, a guy like, see, I used to be a lot more judgmental, like, because I'm very conservative, like no drugs, alcohol, or anything. But, you know, King David, my wife was telling me the story of King David, and what a great man, but he had so many flaws. And then you realize sometimes the best of us have the most flaws. And you just need to know that, man. Like your flaws might be the thing that made you great. And
I'm not sure I got any flaws. I think I'm a fun motherfucker.
Oh, well, you were saying like your choices. Like
no, I do. I have a lot of flaws. I do, but I do think I'm fun, and I'll take the fun over being like fitting in everybody's mold. I have had a lot of fun. I think it's just underrated, really having fun. You know, I've asked people a question before. I said, hey, have you ever paid too much for a great adventure?
I know.
and never, not one human being's ever said no. I've never met a man or a woman at their deathbed that had enough great sexual experiences. I've never met any of these people at their deathbed that they said, oh shit, I should have worked a few more hours. Okay. It's all the simple stuff that they didn't do. And it's really a shame, man. That's why I hate owning a home. Cause I'm like, wow, Alice gets married to Bob. Bob and Alice are going to have a wonderful life. They're going to build a little white picket fence and a dog and 2.3 kids. But what really happens? What really happens is that Bob buys a house he can't afford. Then he becomes a slave to the house and he's raking leaves, cleaning gutters, cleaning toilets. And he's not fucking his wife and he's not hanging out with his kids. He's a slave to a fucking dead instrument called home ownership. And you wonder why so many marriages are collapsing, dude.
You know, man, I've married a great woman. Like my wife, like, you know what she loves? She doesn't care anything about money. She loves if I go to bed and just rub her head for like an hour and talk to her while she's going to sleep. That's what she loves. Like, I'm serious. Like that.
Hey, that would turn me on, dude. You can come rub my head if you want.
Well, but you get it? Like, it's the little things. I think somebody was saying
I agree,
that.
dude.
It's none of this other stuff. That's what makes her most happy. It's not, obviously having a nice home and comfort is nice, right? Like you were talking about, we like our air conditioning. We're Americans. It's comfortable. And yeah, it's been a long time since I've lived without, so I wouldn't want to, but my wife is so simple, but I wish people would think about that. If you find, when I was a high school teacher, my students would ask me, because I worked with, I think I sent you a link to them there. It's the alternative school, Ocean Beach Alternative School. They changed the name to something more appropriate, so it didn't offend people, but it's really a dropout prevention program. And anyway, my students come from really rough backgrounds. And so they would ask me, like, they'd say, well, Mr. Carroll, my last name's Carroll. They'd say, Mr. Carroll, what's kind of the secret to life? And I said, I think marriage is probably, who you marry is probably paramount, religion, and money is probably maybe third down there. But I really believe that. And so anyway, I used to, because I think you were talking about that. How do you straighten out these children? And I think your brother actually deals with this too. I watched a video where he was going and talking to kids and trying to straighten them out off drugs and stuff. And man, your brother is amazing at that. I have to say, like, I don't watch all your brother's stuff, but I watched that one, and damn, is he good at that. Like, and so yeah. I asked you, if you ever asked him if he needs a school to go to, go see my kids, man. I felt so bad when I left those kids because my wife was promoted. They moved us across the country and stuff. And so I had to go, but I still feel guilt. Like, do you know how bad I wanted those kids to succeed? I mean, I would have done anything for them, and to leave, it bothered me. So anyway, if it's those little things like that meant more to me though, working with those kids, than a lot of stuff in life. And anyway, if your brother ever is looking for a place, please tell him it's the Ocean Beach Alternative School out in Washington State. Your brother doesn't know me, so I didn't want to be like, hey.
There's so many places and help needed. You look at just this event tonight that brought us all together. We've had the assassination attempt of a U.S. president running for office and in key position to win. Massive turmoil in the Democratic National Convention, arguments, who's what to who. And, I really appreciate you helping me out tonight here, man. It's been an interesting conversation. Just for you guys that are listening, I'm going to ask you to do what I always ask you to do after one of these shows, is go be nice to somebody. Just because we have insanity going on here does not mean that we have to become animals. So do something nice for someone. It's Sunday morning, July 13th. I'm traveling to, no, it's not Sunday yet, hour and a half. I'm traveling to New York tomorrow, pick up my daughter. I hope the world doesn't go into shitstorm even further than it is. We've had an attempt on our president, and we should all get excited at this point. We need to talk to our neighbors, our friends, consider the decisions we made before. I'm not a big believer in just betting on my team. I'm not a Republican. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a U.S. citizen. That's the way I identify. I am a U.S. citizen. I'm proud to be an American, but I demand America to be the way I bought into this trade, okay, which is freedom, freedom, and freedom are the three core principles of America. And we ain't got it anymore. Freedom, freedom, and freedom. I don't have to get all overly complicated. Yeah. So I have the right to listen. I have the right to see all the data available to me. I'm an adult. Okay. And I should have the right to speak my piece without censorship, period. And I should be able to, we should be able to elect a president that we want without the enforcement authorities with all the weapons and all the really cool weapons. Like, they got weapons I can't have. They should be protecting our president. Like, it's a major fail on the Biden administration. It's a major fail on the Treasury Department, which is held by the Secret Service. So flunk. Don't even, I don't even know who runs that division, but like, he should fucking step down tomorrow morning. And I still ask, why was Trump exposed that long? tonight. I would beg you guys, do not just like start challenging everything you see and hear. Okay, there's something not fucking right here, and I have a lot to lose here. Okay, like I probably got more to lose than a lot of people here. I cannot sit here and be quiet. It's not right. So I'm going to ask you guys to like get off your ass, give money. If you don't want to be vocal, then give money to people that are being vocal, because they're probably some of these great patriots are going to need probably lawyers. Shit doesn't come free. So let's think about what we're doing. But we are at war, dude. And I've seen the enemy, and it is literally inside the United States, literally just sitting inside of us. In fact, they think they own us and run us and manage us. So good night with that. Sleep well. And let's remember that freedom is not free. It's just not. It's just not. Never has been, never will be. All right, guys. Thank you very much.